6 up-and-coming brokers, 6 ambitious candidates, all with one aim: to be crowned Broker Apprentice 2015. Bishop Challoner School in South East London. Founded in 1950, it's accommodated in a historic building known as Shortlands House, the oldest building in the area. The school's motto, Quantum Pote Tantum Audi, challenges each member of the community to dare to do their very best. It's here today that Team E-volve and Team Inspire will show their videos to a classroom of sixth formers, with the aim of convincing them that insurance is a fantastic career option. But what do the students think about insurance presently?
Yeah, when it comes to insurance, I'm not really interested in it. So I don't really know the type of people that kind of work in there, but I do know that they have to be kind of smart to go into that kind of field.
My understanding of an insurance broker is someone who is, they convince the person to insure them. You know, they get them to choose that company, you know, to give them money so that they can compensate them if anything goes wrong.
I wouldn't consider getting into insurance because it's to do with money and numbers and money. No, it's just not for me.
First up, it's Team Inspire.
Just before we start anything, just a little bit of preempt it. If you've got any mobile phones, any technology like that, can you make sure it's on? And that you have your Twitter accounts perhaps open, anything like that. What inspires you? You probably remember this. And I expect you're probably aware of this. But how does that relate to me? Well, what you probably didn't realise was that I arranged the insurance for both of these things. How many of you guys, when you saw those clips, immediately thought of insurance or anything like that? Not one of you at all. The football, everything on that screen had a massive deal to do with insurance and insurance broking. Every single one of those players will have spoken to an insurance broker about their cars, their personal health. And then the marathon itself, that entire thing wouldn't have taken place without there being an insurance broker or an insurance company behind it.
I'm sure we all saw these devastating events on the news.
Gales, tidal waves could cause more flood misery this weekend, the Environment Agency has warned, capping a month that's already been in many areas the wettest January for 100 years or more. It's been so bad in Somerset that the Army are now poised to help people left cut off for weeks.
I was there for those people on the other end of the phone, helping them recover from those events.
So when there were those floods, up to 600 properties were affected. That's people's houses, people's shops, people's livelihoods. So it's all about being a broker, is having that relationship with that person. So you're being there for them. That's a really important part of my job. I really enjoy helping people. So if that's something that you want to do in a career to help people, insurance broking can be for you as well.
I've taken some of my clients to here. I've even had some of my clients take me to here. I've even had a cheeky one of these. But how does that relate to you? Well, insurance broking is all about building relationships. I'm really here to talk to you about one of my favourite parts, which is building relationships and seeing people face to face. And because you're the middleman, you've got to entertain the insurers and both the clients. So even a simple handshake, saying hello. I mean, you meet different people every day. You have friends, you have family, you meet people on the bus, you have teachers. You're building relationships and maintaining them relationships every single day.
After relationships, it's a case of what's next for the industry. You are the future of insurance broking.
Everything you have seen, we are a part of every day.
But how do you fit into this?
So yeah, that's the kind of the end of the video.
One of the main messages we're trying to get across is there's a lot of different generations in the workplace, and you're the next generation coming through, so you will be growing up with things like this.
Next up, it's Team E-volve.
I'm Virginia Church. I work for Jardine Lloyd Thompson. We're a global insurance brokerage, and I'm based in the City of London.
So my name's Charlie Barrett. I work for a company called Henderson Corporate, which is a national insurance brokerage our headquarters are based up in Leeds, which is where I'm from. We have 14 offices across the UK, and we place about just over £200 million worth of insurance premiums into the UK and international market.
I'm Daniel Abbott. I live in Cardiff in a much smaller insurance brokerage. We work in 3 or 4 offices basically around Cardiff, so as you can tell there's 3 different levels of sort of insurance brokerage, from large to fairly small independent owned insurance brokers.
So I'm sure you're all aware of the very famous nodding Churchill dog, as we have a picture of it here. But you'll also be aware of the Meerkats adverts and the Go Compare adverts that we also see on our televisions. This is a very small part of our insurance world, and we want to give you today an insight into what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Everything in today's world needs to be insured against the risks it faces. Even from the most weird and wonderful products, people and services, they all need to be insured. I'm sure you'll all recognise the famous person behind me. David Beckham insured his legs for £100 million against career-ending injuries. The actress behind me plays Ugly Betty, and she insured her teeth for $10 million. The insurances for these would have been placed via an insurance broker in Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's of London originally started in 1688 in a coffee shop.
From humble beginnings grow great things. So from the small 17th century coffee shop in which a handful of cases were placed hundreds of years ago to the Lloyd's of London building that it is now, Lloyd's has hugely developed over the past few hundred years. I mean, in terms of insurance premium spend last year in the UK economy alone, not in terms of cover, but in terms of the amount of money spent by British businesses, the number exceeded £25 billion last year. To be an insurance broker is to be a part of all of that.
So, one of my former clients was an ejector seat manufacturer, and they produce ejector seats for the RAF. Without insurance, they wouldn't be able to operate in aeroplanes. On a day-to-day basis, our role is extremely varied. We can be putting together a submission for the underwriter and actually presenting the risk to them, but also out and about speaking to our clients to make sure that we understand their risks in more detail. Insurance broking. No limits, no boundaries.
Quick question. How many of you have got one of these? Whatever sort of phone, Apple, smartphone, something like that. So essentially, you want to get an upgrade, you go into a phone shop, you speak to somebody on the other side of the desk, and what they will do is similar to what we do. They will find you a deal, they will speak to whoever, could be EE, could be O2, could be Vodafone, and they will get you a deal. So they are essentially the insurance broker, but for telecommunications companies. You've seen the video, obviously you've heard what we've all had to say. Would any of you consider insurance broking as a career now, or would any of you be interested in learning anything more about the industry?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, great. So for us, obviously, that's what we wanted to convey.
Well, thanks very much
Thank
for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Having watched both teams' videos, it's time to find out what the students thought of the presentations.
You've seen 2 presentations now, and basically they're both similar, different. You'll have your own views on that. We basically need you to now decide which one was the best.
Which group left you understanding insurance best and most interested in insurance?
First, they discussed Team Inspire's presentation.
What did you like about them?
I thought they were a bit more professional. Like, the second group in the video stuttered a bit when they were talking. Although, admittingly, they didn't discuss what insurance broking actually is, but I felt they gave a wider picture of, like, in markets that I found it interesting, like technology markets and things.
I think the delivery and presentation, and they're a bit more enthusiastic and engaging more. And like sort of the way they stood as well. Like.
And what did the students think of Team E-volve's presentation?
I just felt they seemed to give more information about what exactly brokering is, and how it varies within different people. Like, for example, I think Daniel was his name, how he was more local while the other girl was more global, and just how it differentiates. I just thought it was just a bit more engaging as well.
But ultimately, it's going to be all up to you. So, we're going to do it as a show of hands.
So who votes for Team Inspire anyway? Team Inspire.
Very different task today and very different from yesterday's task. A real opportunity for you to engage new people in the broking industry. The students have voted based on everything they've seen today. There can only be one winner for this task. But the winner of today's task is Team E-volve. Something to play for now? Is this the emotional roller coaster now?
I'd like to think that our presentation is sort of spoke in a fairly mature and direct way towards the audience, and I'd like to think that that sort of resounded with them as sixth form students looking to go to university, looking at prospective careers in the very near future. So I'd like to think that that spoke to them in a lot of ways, and hopefully that's why we won.
We try to think a bit more outside the box, so we came up with a couple of ideas like the business cards, providing our email addresses so if they did ever have any questions, whether they would like to actually shadow us for a day in any of the companies that we work in. So hopefully that kind of gave us a bit of an edge.
I think we're working well with each other, and I think we convey that in the way we deliver the task as well. I think we set out to really interact with them, and playing off the back of each other's strengths and weaknesses, I think that allowed us to deliver in the way that we did. I think we know what we all want as brokers and what we want to achieve. I think with our team working the way that it does now, we'll be able to attack it from 3 different angles, and I think that that'll come through in the Broker Expo, so I'm really looking forward, really excited.
With Team E-volve declared the winner, the 6 brokers move on to the next task and move one step closer to being crowned the Broker Apprentice 2015. Next time on the Broker Apprentice.
We want you to develop a digital initiative, take it to the Broker Expo in Coventry.
An application which is accessible to brokers.
So can I go just literally show it to you on your computer screen? Come over.
How long did it take to put together? Like 2 evenings.
2 evenings?
Yeah.
So the overall winner of today's task, with 148 votes from brokers,